Hello everyone, today we're starting our series on Patreon, which we will have some singing lessons. And the first lesson, one of the most important that even I have to still do, even though I sing for more than 10 years professionally, since high school, is breathing. So you might think we all breathe, what's new? Well, we usually breathe very shallow, like our chest rises, our shoulder rise up, especially when we're like, I don't know, running or something and it doesn't work and you're like, we breathe only with this upper part, which is okay in everyday life, but for singing, it's better to breathe with our whole body. Or to be precise, we need to use our diaphragm more actively. Now, you may ask, what is a diaphragm if you don't know? Well, diaphragm is the most important muscle for breathing, and it's situated down here, like under, how we have like ribs here, right? And then diaphragm is here, and it looks like a umbrella, which like starts like this, and then when we breathe in, it goes like that, and then when we breathe out, it goes back in, back up. So we're gonna learn how to use or how to activate more our diaphragm, which is very, very important. Reading lessons like this are not only important for singers, but a lot of people, especially in this time when we get a lot of like pulmonary diseases like COVID and everything, a lot of people had to do these exact same exercises for breathing to regain more strength for our breathing system. So it's not just good for singing, but also for your health. Okay, so first and foremost, when we breathe, we never ever rise up our shoulders or our chest like that's wrong. That's like a big no-no. So in the beginning, if you really want to do this seriously and whatnot, it's good to do it in front of a mirror. Everyone has a mirror in front, like when dressing or something. It's good to use a mirror. I know a lot of people don't like to watch themselves, but for singing, it's very important. When we do breathing exercises, it's very important to stand up. Why? Because when we sit, our tummy and everything is like all scrunched up and we can't breathe very deeply. Opera singing breathing technique is conceived as deep breaths, which means our whole down part here, let me stand up, our all down part here, like our tummy and our sides and even our back has to be active. If we sit down, it's everything usually like we hunchback or something, and we don't have that flow that we want to have. I mean, at this time, since I know how to breathe, I can do it while sitting, but it revolves like good knowledge. But yeah, I usually always do even my breathing exercises, my warm-ups, everything standing up. That's how I learn, and that's what's the best. Okay, so first lesson, first breathing technique. We want to do some basic inhaling and exhaling without raising our shoulders or moving our chest up. So let's see. I usually got told, oh, think if you are breathing in a nice perfume or a favorite flower, or if you're like me, something to eat. You know, like those fresh baked cookies? Yeah. Okay, so let's do a simple inhale and exhale. And out. In and out. It's good to breathe through the nose in the beginning because the air gets more moist, cleaned up. It's not too cold, even though now it's summer. So usually we combine breathing through nose and mouth at the same time. But yeah, let's do it a few more times. Breathe in. Breathe out. Don't raise your shoulders. Don't raise your chest. This is a no-no. Listen, now I'm gonna show how not to do it. This is a no-no. We breathe in and out without raising our shoulders or our chest. Let's do it a few more times. Think about your favorite food. Think about your favorite flower. And this is how we do the basic exercises. You can do it by counting, like how much you take in and how much you take out. It's good for calming down as well and similar stuff like this. Okay, now what we want to do next is improve of this breathing exercise. Okay, so what we're going to do, when we breathe in, after breathing, we're going to hold our breath without taking in or putting it out for 2 seconds. So we're gonna do 4 seconds breathe in, 2 seconds hold your breath without taking it in or pushing it out, and then 4 seconds to let it all out. Exhale. Okay, let's do it. I'll be counting here. So we can hold 2 more before starting it all again. So 4 in, 2 hold, 4 out, 2 hold. And do it like multiple times. Big important disclaimer. If you're feeling dizzy because you're not used to do these exercises, you need to stop. And if you're like standing up, you need to sit down, stop. It's completely normal because we are putting in a lot of oxygen into our brain, so it's normal that you might feel dizzy, especially, I don't know, if it's too hot or something. Okay, so take it easy and let's try it again. Okay, let's take a moment to breathe normally without thinking too much. What we usually do is when exhaling, we do a S sound or a C sound. So instead of doing because that's not controlled, we can do s, then the air goes out more thinly, or t, the C sound. You can hear the difference, but whichever works better for you. Okay, so these are the 2 very, very basic breathing exercises, but it helps a lot. Now, when we do these breathing exercises, there is like another step that we need to think of, and that's it. Your tummy needs to go out. So when I breathe, my tummy does this. Wait, let me do this. See? It goes out. Okay, so when we breathe, it goes out, and then we can pull it back in normally when we exhale. So let's do this again one more time, like from the start. Let's go. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And we stop. So this is more deep breathing. So we're not rising this, but the tummy. We're trying to think that we breathe as low as possible. That way we're not using just a tiny bit of our body, but like a whole huge part. The more advanced breathing is if also this part here where our ribs are also moves. You can look at my hand how it moves. See, it moves. So basically, not just the front, also like our back, we all expand like a barrel. People would say like a barrel. And that's when we breathe like with our full body, very deep, and not shallow or just half-hearted, okay? And this is how we conclude our first part of breathing exercises. This is good to start, to feel how you're doing. If your tummy is not moving by itself, it's good to lay down and maybe put the book and see if your tummy rises up or down. Because actually, when we sleep, when we are very relaxed, we actually breathe properly, like deep, as if we're singing. But when we do everyday chores, we forget about it. So stay tuned for the next part with a tiny bit like intermediate breathing lessons. And yeah, after that, let's go for some pros. Have a lovely rest of the day. Bye.